Girls, how you doing? Let's do another pickacard, and today is going to be what's happening. What's happening is a heat wave is hitting hard here in London. It's going to be 40 degrees. We are loving it, don't we? Okay, let's go. Let's not do the forecast. I always do that, do I? Yeah, I don't know why. I'm so obsessed with the weather. I don't know why we are. I mean, it's insane. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2. So part number 1 was happening. The moon, the Fool, 6 of Pentacles, interesting. So when we have the moon, it's always very fascinating because there's some truth that needs to come out. It can be a truth that you need to confront yourself with, or it could be that someone is going to reveal their own truth, whether they like it or not, whether they intend to do that or not, meaning that maybe there's some lies that people have been saying, and that is going to be found out. So that's interesting. So it's very revealing, but also it's rebalancing those energy, because you have the yin and the yang. I don't know if you can see those whoops. Whoops. And that is also very romantic as well. So it's all good news, because it's an idea of revealing feelings, emotion, and maybe some lies. It's true, but at least we know what we're tackling. Okay, so there is someone who may have been a fool indeed by behaving so badly, because now their lie is going to be found out. But also someone who's going to reveal themselves and take that leap of faith towards you, or maybe it's you saying that truth, those feelings. It's about time, I would say, right? And as a result, we have this idea again of balance, yin and yang, you know, with those two wolves, and this idea of equal give and take. It could be that as well, you receiving as much as you give, but also it's an idea of transparency. And I think that's what we need, particularly with this one. Transparency is key indeed. So let's have more information, but at least we can see there is an idea of revelation here, and we're moving forward as well. Very nice. Yeah, you're covering your heart, maybe because you think, well, you know what, I don't know what you could say for me to change my mind. If you lied to me once, would I trust you again? Can I trust you again? I don't know. You know, if someone, you know, if someone has been cheating on you, once a cheater, always a cheater. That's what they say, you know. So it's a bit of a reserve for you. Like, I don't know, I'm covering my heart, don't want to get hurt again, don't want to be disappointed again, all right? Yeah, justice, you think so? So it's very much this idea with all those cards, you know, it's an idea of equilibrium, very much. Balancing the energy, saying the truth, I mean, doing the right thing, very much, very much. But you know, that lady with a sword very much reminds me of the Queen of Swords. Is an idea of maybe cutting off what doesn't work for you anymore. When you find out some truths, that's it. You know, you might take some drastic decision indeed. Very interesting. But there's definitely this idea of, you know, balancing the scales here. Do the right thing, find out about the truth. So it's very, again, very revealing, this pile. Yeah, as a result, we have an idea of dropping something behind, leaving something behind, opening the heart and elevating ourselves. It could be that you turn your back on somebody, or someone very much had to do that homework and reveal themselves to themselves, therefore to you. They have to drop somebody else maybe, or simply dropping the lies, dropping the attitude, the arrogance, whatever it is, and be real. Right? So that could also be you, as I say, who can just, as a result, because when you find out that truth, you just have, no thank you, but no thank you, I don't want this anymore, and leave you behind. It is very possible. Someone has been watching you. It's also this idea of being defensive, maybe when they're being faced with the lies, you know, confronted with their own lies, and then maybe they're going to have to, you know, find some excuses, and they, instead of saying, sorry, I've got it wrong, they're trying to be defensive. Not very smart. At the end of the day, it does feel like you will find that balance eventually, because there is an idea of you knew you were supposed to be together. There is that idea of distance at some point, because maybe, yeah, someone was lying to you, someone was not revealing their feelings to you, and you go, just, you know what, I have enough, I cut you off. And during that time, you both worked on yourself. But eventually, when the truth is out, when the feelings are actually expressed, you can come back together as a power couple. Very beautiful, and it's very, you know, intense as well. So let's have a major arcana for that pile number 1 on what's happening. Let's have a look what they want to tell us. The world, yeah. Entering a new phase as a result is an idea of putting you on your pedestal, traveling towards you, realizing that they have to move forward. They cannot stay in the same kind of energy. Very much like the Fool taking that leap of faith, moving towards a new chapter in your connection. Very beautiful, very powerful indeed. So let's have a look on pile number 2. What's happening? The Magician, the Sun. 5 of Pentacles, beautiful, very, very powerful indeed. Major Arcana again. The Magician is someone who may have tried to, play an illusion, maintain, the appearances for a very long time, but realizing this is totally wrong. This is not what this is not my truth. I'm trying to show to the world I'm this way. I'm super happy. The people who advertise their happiness on social media, for example. I'm like, why do you actually need to advertise that? I don't know about that. It doesn't feel very congruent to me. In the meantime, they also want to manifest you. They manifest you for good reason. There is an idea of you being that inner child connection. There is a lot of joy coming up. There is a lot of sunshine for sure. But also this idea of being free to be yourself together. When you're together, there's no games, there's no appearances, there's no mask or facade, you're just yourself. And that might felt a little bit bizarre, because how can I feel so comfortable with someone like that? Just like this, just simply at ease with that person, when maybe that person was with someone else for years and years and years and never managed to feel that comfortable. Interesting. So this is the best card of the old deck. So if you're waiting on some news or a decision, that would be very positive for you. In the meantime, yes, it's an idea of feeling left in the cold, because manifesting you and manifesting that closeness excuse me, George is here. It's very bizarre, because you have that knowing, I recognize you, I see you. With you, I cannot lie, but see how close I feel to you and so comfortable I feel to you. But in the meantime, maybe they try to focus on somebody else or something else. Maybe they were with someone else and they were trying to regroup. I cannot be distracted by this. I have to, no, I'm with someone else. I should be, do the right thing. But they cannot avoid the idea of I feel for you no matter what, right? They're probably trying to run away from the emotion. Here we go, They were trying to do the right thing, don't get me wrong. They were trying to stay cool with that other person, because officially they are together. But they can't lie forever at the end of the day, So yeah, there was someone who would try maybe to, again, it's all about the appearances with a King of Wands, excuse me. It's an idea of showing off a little bit, all about the, the money, ego, very much, but also maybe trying to play a game with you, trying to be Mr. or Mrs., kind of like sexy, but at the same time doesn't really work, because there are feelings underneath, right? So now we have a new beginning with clarity, which means that before the Ace of Swords, you have to go through a 10 of Swords. So it hasn't been easy for that person. And maybe by meeting you, they reveal to themselves how unhappy, fulfilled they were for a long, long time. By comparison, they realize, oh my goodness, I thought I was happy, but I wasn't actually. I was lying to myself, right? Yeah, it's someone who's very keen on appearances, and maybe cut you off, trying to pretend there was no feeling anything for you, keep you at bay, pushing you away, because no, I'm trying to run away from my emotion, because I actually have butterfly in the belly for you. But I'm trying to push you away, trying to cut you with my wording, just to stay sane, because I cannot be confronting myself to you. Third party, very possibly here, confusion as well. Okay, so maybe someone as well who spent a lot of time partying, excuse me, social butterfly, but at the same time not being fulfilled, trying to avoid the lesson. But the lesson is gonna have to be learned, because it's a big boss upstairs, whether you call it universe, God, or whatever, who decide you're meant to be together. But there is an idea of process, maybe first pushing you away, being really not able to confront you or confront themselves, but eventually having to do the work, because I cannot continue being in a lie or living a lie, right? Very interesting indeed. So let's have a major arcana to see what is happening for the pile number 2 here, but very intense, very important. The world, I'm sure we have all the cards, I promise you. Well, interesting, eh? Interesting. So there is definitely a new beginning in this energy this week. Obviously, there is a new chapter opening. There is before and after, you know. I think from the full moon last week, a lot of situations are going to be revealing themselves to themselves, inevitably, you know. The first half of the year and the second half will be very different, in my opinion. I knew, and I said that many times, 2022 will be very, very different, very revealing, turning point, table are turning. People who've been doing the right thing will be, you know, you're receiving, when others who have been lying will have to face or confront themselves, inevitably. Boom, bada boom, right? On this note, have a beautiful day and I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah. Ciao.